I suppose, Ned, last time we had a chat with you was before the 2 Waterford games, and 2 crackers they were, and I suppose that's going to stand to Kilkenny on the day.
Well, definitely the 2 Waterford games were the 2 standout games in this year's hurling championship. Waterford, an outstanding team, and our lads had to raise their own game to meet him and ultimately to beat him. So yes, those 2 games will stand to us. I mean, you could see the improvement in our own team from the drawing game to the replay. Unfortunately, the victory there came at a heavy price, the loss of Michael Fennelly, but we've overcome those kind of things before, and hopefully we'll overcome them again.
Absolutely, and he is a massive player, and everyone knows, I suppose, the specific training that he had to undergo the last few years just to even be out in the field. And they say nobody's irreplaceable, but it will be hard to replace Michael.
I mean, you're right when you say the way Michael prepares himself as well as preparing with the team. He has a wonderful personal training regime that he follows and gets himself right. Doesn't play all that many matches throughout the year at inter-county level, but he was back at his very best fitness-wise, and he was showing that in his displays. So he is a big loss, but he will be replaced, and we'll drive on from there.
I suppose in terms of Tipperary, what's your take on them this year? They have been pretty impressive throughout the campaign.
They have, yeah, you'd have to say that. They're a very good team, very skillful team. There was one particular burst in the game against Galway in the first half, maybe for about 10 minutes, and I just thought, wow, these guys are good. They were popping balls over the bar, they were running off the shoulder, and they were doing all the things, but then they seemed to fall back a bit later in the game, and Galway could have taken them, really.
Yeah, and I suppose that's an area where Kilkenny possibly could exploit, because if you switch off against Kilkenny, even for a couple of minutes, it can be very detrimental, and it could end you very easily.
Well, sure, look at this is a new game, and whatever happened up to now will really have no bearing on it other than preparing the teams for it. And I would anticipate this game will follow the famous Kilkenny Tipperary games of recent years, and indeed previous years as well, and that will have a really brilliant All-Ireland Final, and hopefully when full time is called we'll be a point ahead of.
And I suppose it's a county that has had serious success and been lucky enough to compete in All-Ireland Finals year in year out. You're chairman for quite a while now. How proud are you to be in that position?
Sure, from my point of view it's unreal. When I took over as chairman from John Healy in 1999, my only ambition was that we might win one All-Ireland, and I suppose if God spares me on Sunday week I'll be in the dressing room for the 15th time in an All-Ireland final, and if you add in 2 replays that's 17 times, so nobody saw that coming, not least of all myself.
It's not a bad record. I actually spoke to Brian earlier about how big a turning point that All-Ireland win was in 2000 after losing the Cork the year before, and you could see the emotion in Brian's face in that interview in '99. I watched it recently myself. How big a turning point was that victory over Offaly in kick-starting the era that unfolded? Yeah,
well, you see, people probably forget that we were going for a different 3 in a row than the one we were going for Sunday week. We had been beaten in the 98 final, and we'd been beaten in the 99 final. Now, Brian wasn't in charge in 1998, Kevin Fennelly was the manager. So certainly that victory in 2000 was a key turning point and was a forerunner to what happened. I think had we lost that one, Kilkenny hurling would have been in a serious place, so thankfully we didn't, and we drove on from there under Brian's outstanding managership, and with the team that he has around him as the management team, Michael Dempsey and Derek and James McGarry. They've been fantastic, but Brian himself has been absolutely inspirational.
I suppose the replay against Waterford presented you with, I suppose, a few welcome headaches. A couple of fixtures had to be called off and stuff, but no different than other years of replay. You expect them obviously to be finishing good time again.
Well, we're fortunate in Kilkenny with our clubs that they understand the situation. We lay out our fixtures at the beginning of the year and we stick to them insofar as we can, and in our fixtures book we always write in the sentence that these are the fixtures unless Kilkenny are involved where we don't expect them to be involved, which for instance a replay or going into the qualifiers or whatever. And the clubs understand that. Once the game was drawn, they knew that the games had to go off, but they will be played and we will catch up. It's one of the great strengths of Kilkenny hurling that the clubs are so supportive of the county team. If there's any other way, you wouldn't have the success that we've had.
And just you mentioned support there. I suppose Kilkenny supporters in general expect an awful lot, given the success that you've had. And how do you think the players and management handle that pressure? Do you just kind of, I suppose, drag yourself away from the fact that expectation is so much among supporters? And I suppose when things sometimes don't go their way. How, just kind of explain that to us. How do you handle that sort of pressure?
Well, I don't think we see it as pressure. I think we're delighted with the support the team gets from the people of Kilkenny. And as the Brian Cody era has gone on, I feel that support has grown. And I think it was epitomised in the year 2013 when we didn't win. I mean, our team got a standing ovation leaving the field that day in Thurles after being defeated and going out of the championship. I would say Kilkenny supported that as strong as ever, and it's just part of the whole scene with Kilkenny hurling that the team, and we don't see it as, or the team don't see it as pressure. They're delighted with it and they're grateful for it, and really grateful to our supporters who dig deep into their pockets to follow the team. And we're getting huge numbers following the team at National League games, away games and home games and at championship games as well.